In the midst of these disruptive and challenging times, it's important to have conversation partners to help you discern, assess, and create a plan to move challenges into opportunities.
For nearly a decade, the Center for Healthy Churches has been devoted to bringing spiritual, emotional, and organizational health to churches and clergy across the country. Our team is comprised of men and women who love the local church, who have a proven track record of success, and who are divinely called to use their abundant gifts on behalf of the church. Our dream is to walk alongside churches as they seek to become the people God intends them to be.
Previously, when working with consultants, we often ended up with a consultant-written assessment or plan of action. We essentially paid for a product. But it was not so with the Center for Healthy Churches. The congregation was led through a learning and listening process, and we were guided in developing our own plan of action in our own words in the way that made the most sense to those of us who were going to implement and live with a new plan.
I was really curious how an outsider would be able to come into our situation and bring clarity. And yet I was greatly impressed with the wisdom and experience of our CHC consultant. In reality, he could take his vast experience with so many different congregations who were experiencing similar scenarios to the challenges that we had, and he was able to take that knowledge and lay out a plan. It was always very helpful to know also that this plan was one in which we could collaborate, and there were great questions, and there was never a spirit of judgment or a dictatorial spirit.
There are a few things we believe sets the Center for Healthy Churches apart. We put the church first, helping in every possible way we can, including our financial model. And also, despite the challenges we face, we have an abiding hope for the church. We think great things are possible if we're willing to be faithful and we're willing to innovate.
The Center for Healthy Churches invited us to think about God-sized dreams, dreams of ministry that could not be accomplished without God's intervention, equipping, and assistance. And what a gift that was, instead of trying to manufacture reasonably attainable goals and objectives to be accomplished with resources on hand. It was so simple and yet so faithfully enlarging for us.
Our greatest insight was when we received our report from our CHC consultant and saw the comprehensive work that he had done in reviewing our historical patterns of giving and attendance, and also interviewing our staff and our elders. Took all of that and put it together for us to have a possible path forward. So in a relatively short amount of time, he had taken all of that information and compiled it and shared it with us with all of the hopes for a very fruitful future for our church here at University Presbyterian Church.
I really believe that the beginning of the search process, prior to the actual search, was the light bulb moment for me. Once we held the congregational conversations, providing the opportunity for CHC to lead our congregation through healthy conversations about our church. What brought us here? Why do we stay? What does this church need? I got it. I understood that it wasn't going to be good enough to simply show up with the next pastor and roll him or her out in front of the congregation. They needed to be fed and have the opportunity to be heard so that they were prepared for a healthy transition and acceptance of their next spiritual leader and equipper. They also needed to hear someone else say that this process isn't about what they want.
An innovative mindset change is a part of what it takes to thrive. Our team is good at helping churches listen to the Holy Spirit in new and innovative ways. We help you determine what parts of the heritage and your past should go forward with you toward your future. We then help guide your church toward one in spirit as you move forward together. CHC coaches and consultants combine their vast experience, proven track records, and awareness of the larger issues facing the church in the 21st century to bring a non-naive and deeply spiritual approach to our clients. We're prepared to help you with pastoral transitions, your church identity, the first 100 days of a new pastor, and missional living and visioning.
Our primary experience lies in our ability to listen to you deeply as we lead you through a process that enables you, in turn, to listen deeply for the promptings of the Holy Spirit. We trust that the Spirit will be present in all of our conversations and will show us paths toward your church's faithful future. We are far more interested in serving your church than we are in charging you high fees. You shouldn't have to beggar your church in order to save it.
CHC coaches and consultants combine their vast experience, proven track records, and awareness of the larger issues facing the church in the 21st century to help churches move from simply surviving this season to thriving in this season. We are ready to help you with conflict resolution, strategic visioning, staffing strategies, and budget consultation.
I would tell them that this engagement is absolutely worth it. I think there is significant risk in not hiring CHC because a search team left to its own devices simply doesn't know what it doesn't know.
In this dynamic moment of challenge and possibility for congregations, we all need clarity, hope, and expertise. Those are things that we're equipped to provide. If those are things your congregation is searching for, we'd love to talk with you about how we can help.